Welcome to Let's Talk Possibility, episode 47. Tonight, we are with Lere Mgayiya, talking about how to create 45 jobs, having started with $1.20. Welcome to Let's Talk Possibility. What's possible when we explore ideas, challenge thinking, and inspire action? My name is Mongezi Mtati.
And I'm Tawana Simpson.
With us in studio this evening is Lere Mgayiya, who is described as an inspirational entrepreneur, an inspirational and visionary entrepreneur. His approach to social entrepreneurship has seen him win the Sanlam Money Game. He started Lere's Shoeshine experience, which began in 2003, and we are going to talk a bit more about it this evening. Hi, Lere, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for coming in this evening. So, to start off, in our conversations earlier, you mentioned a lot about, starting with what you have and the fact that, you need less capital to start, right? So, what inspired Lere's Shoeshine?
Well, desire to succeed, desire to be self-employed, and generally, I think the truth is being fed up being middle class.
Yes.
Okay, and wanting to do things by myself, for myself too. That's really what inspired it.
You came from a background of actually being employed, though, and you had other dreams, if I remember correctly. You wanted to be a pilot, sort of thing.
Jesus, I wanted to be a pilot so much. I did matric twice to get my results better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I was offered a place at UCT to do mathematics and other things. And SAA came and said, anyone who wants to come and work for SAA? And I jumped at the SAA opportunity because I wanted to be a pilot. And didn't materialize 5 years later.
Yeah. So then you thought, well, you'll create your own destiny.
Yes, I did. Also, I had flown, right, to try to be a pilot. Lessons had taken about 15 hours of lessons. And that was awesome. However, when I got a mentor who's the pilot, and he flew with me and showed me what exactly do pilots do, I was bored.
I was going to say, because that was me, a pilot, you follow other people's instructions. And you
do things by the book.
For 15 years. For 15 years, okay? And essentially what you do, you're a qualified bus driver. Honestly, okay? The guy lands and takes off. The only thing he does. And then he reports along the way, we're still alive. We passed this place, we're still alive. Sharp, and he lands the plane. It's boring.
So what is more than exciting for you about running your own business?
Freedom, creating a future and a legacy. I enjoy that. I think life is really about time. Okay, money facilitates the time, but life is really about time. You buy other people's time so you can have more time. And then you create opportunities for them and for yourself while doing that.
Okay, let's go back to 2003, okay? You sat at the Green Market Square. You had a few ventures that, didn't pan out or didn't succeed as well as you wanted them to. You sat there looking at this guy shining shoes before you started the whole business. What was going through your mind at the time?
Okay, so I was having a pity party, okay, because I was sitting there thinking with all my creativity and my brain power, I was still a loser, okay? And I look across and I see this guy shining shoes. Oh, in fact, I was reading about him in a newspaper, right? How well he's doing, how much money he makes during the day. And I looked across because I saw him every day. It's not like I didn't see him every day. I saw him often. And I didn't see him making enough money. In fact, he was invisible to me until that day. And when I looked at him and I looked at what the newspaper was saying about him, I did the numbers in my head because the business plan. So I've done it so many times with other ventures that I can do it in my head, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing I needed was something to make me think. A friend of mine who's also an entrepreneur said to me, a hungry man can't think. So sometimes we pursue these big dreams, these big business opportunities, while we are hungry, we're unable to think. So I thought I needed something simple to give me an income so I can begin to think again.
Yes.
So when I looked at the guy, those were my thoughts in my head that how can I leverage that opportunity to give me maybe even 3,000 rands a month so that I can begin to think, all right? And that was my idea then from initially. Not even having a vision, nor a dream that this could work so well.
Because in most instances, right, when you start a business and you're told to put together a business plan, it seems from the templates, right, that you're building this thing from intention when half the time you don't even know how it's going to turn out.
Just I wanted to survive, man. I just wanted to survive. Okay, and also, I was considered a loser as well amongst my peers, amongst family, because I resigned from South African Airways. It was some substantial amount of money, and I had opportunities to be either employed or to build new ventures.
Yes.
But when those ventures failed, people thought of me as a loser because I had money, I invested, and it was gone. Okay, so I had lots of pressure to go back to employment, and I had to resist that pressure.
Yes.
Okay, because my heart was not there anymore because I know what that road ends up. Okay, so I was determined to do this, and when I declared to everyone that I was going to shine shoes or open a shoe shining business, they thought it's even worse now. He's gone to the dogs. Okay, and if truth be told, right, if someone while I was still employed by South African Airways and I was doing well within the corporate environment there, had shown me my future, and I'd seen myself shining shoes in the future, I would have thought I was bewitched.
Yeah.
Okay, because my life had gone to the dogs. Because how could I? Okay.
Move from practicing as a
blue-eyed,
pilot.
a blue-eyed boy, instead of a blue-eyed boy, okay, to shining shoes. I would have completely thought that. However, it was a good position for me because then I was really becoming who I am. I was finding who I was at that stage.
So I just want to ask, because obviously a lot of people then, you said, called you a loser because you went into those ventures and they didn't succeed. Would you do it again? They had the opportunity?
Because it's school fees, right?
Yeah.
I needed to learn that way. All those lessons I learned there assist me in making this business a success and many other ventures. So had I not learned those things, I still would have to relearn them again. Right, so I'll fail a number of times because nature has a habit of teaching you the same lesson until you learn it over and over again. Yeah, it's got a nature of that. So one needs to be aware of the lessons they've learned, and once they learn, they can progress to the next level. That's really what I believe, yeah.
Awesome. So you start Lere's Shoeshine, and you start Lere's Shoeshine sort of the first year and the first time. Tell us about the story of how the whole thing started, or how you raised funds and you took off from from sitting at Green Market Square to.
Because Mngisi told me you had 10 rand in your pocket.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
that time. And 10 rand is what?
$1.20 today.
So it's not much. It's not even a cappuccino, I think.
No.
Not even. So I did from the idea. Went to Umsobomvu. They were called Umsobomvu then. They gave me an awesome business plan. All right. They
it's the fund
Umsobomvu
headed.
Youth Fund. Yeah.
They now called the National
Youth Commission. No.
NYDA.
Development Agency.
Yeah, National
Basically
Youth Development
they
Agency.
They just help develop.
They help you develop
entrepreneurs.
business plans. When they came out as Umsobomvu, it was business planning, access to capital,
marketing plans,
access to marketing plans or other marketing plans, helping you develop a website. All of those things were given to you
And then that's
for
what
free.
They did. They helped you with the business plan. Sorry.
So, for instance, the business plan cost about 11,000 to create, which Umsobomvu Youth they paid for.
Okay.
But the initial amount they needed was 6,000. So they could have easily given me the 6,000 in the business plan, but it wasn't. That's not how they structured. But in any case, so I asked some people who I knew or other entrepreneurs that knew me to lend me the money. I asked my uncles before as well to lend me the money because I ordered the 2 chairs that cost me about 10,000 or 9,000 at the time from a carpenter. He had built them because Apple's company took about a year, right, to decide whether to give us opportunity or not. And when they did, by that time I was flat broke. Okay. And on the day that I was supposed to pay for the chairs from the carpenter, and it was the day before Apple's company would allow us to be at the airport, I called my uncle. He ran away. I called the business associate and mentors. They were gone. I called my mother. She says the best she could give me was 1,500. That's all she could give. So I was sitting around frustrated. I already employed the guy, right? I'm driving around with this guy, and I can see my petrol is going down. So I asked him how he's gonna go home. He says, "I got petrol, taxi money. How much is it? 20 rand." I said, "I'll take you home. Give me 20 rand." Put petrol in the car, took him home. So got back home, and I see we have television, we have a radio, with a fridge. So I took my television, took my radio, put them in the car, went them and pawned them. And then that gave us about 6,000. And then I went back, got the fridge, sold it. Then it gave us about 10,000. And then I came back.
Sure.
I went to pay for the chairs. My wife came back from work. She called me and said, "We've been robbed." No, darling, we've not been robbed. That was capital for the business. And that's really how I started. I sold my stuff and I started the business.
So what led you to, I mean, actually sell like literally your fridge where you keep your food in? I mean, you must have really, really believed in what you were about to start.
Yeah, it was a drive that I could no longer live in that state. Okay. It was already affecting my relationships with everyone that was close to me. My family were beginning to disbelieve. My partner was already feeling the strain of having a partner that was not working, that goes out there every day, spends money by studying in the car, by using telephone. And she began to feel that he does not want to work, this one. He's qualified to work, but he doesn't want to work. And that on its own just drove me to do what it takes to achieve this goal, right? Because if I didn't do that, I would myself would break. I needed to do something. So I did that. Yeah.
So what was your first customer like? Because obviously you managed to get the chairs then, you went to the airport, you put the chairs down.
So we put the chairs down and we got there, I think about 5 o'clock. Got our first customer. And also, the day they got us, they had put us outside of check-in. So where the meeting and coaching area is, they put us there. And on our first day, we didn't have the other boxes where the Shoeshine guy sits. And then the guy puts his foot on the box. We didn't have that, right? The computer guy didn't deliver those. Just deliver the chairs on the platform only without the other accessories that are critical.
So was the chair really high then?
So the chair was really high. So we had to remove the box and put the chair on the ground.
Oh, okay.
And use our knee where the guy can put his shoe to shine it. Okay. So for the first day, we just used our knee for the guy to put that and shine. And we got a customer. I mean, he was just charming. In fact, we call the business Airport Shoeshine, but we were just charming the customers.
Yes.
Sir, can you come and clean your shoes? And the hit rate was, we would ask 10 customers, we'd get 1 out of 10.
Okay.
So we get a lot of 9 no's, okay? But we were determined, okay? When the first customer, other customers saw him saying yes and shining his shoes, they were also inquisitive.
Yeah.
Then it began then to roll like that. Then it just got better and better. And I think on the first day, we walked away with 120. We were amazed, okay? That's almost half a tank on my car. During that time, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money, yeah. And then on the second day, they put us at the back. The carpenter had delivered everything else. That day, we made about 500 rands between me and the other guy I employed, Monday Super Performer. He worked at international, I worked at domestic. And the customers began to tell us that they wanted to know the person behind the Shoeshine. So Lere. They were supporting Lere as opposed to Airport Shoeshine.
Oh, okay.
It's a vague name. They thought it belonged to the airport as opposed to belonged to Lere. So once they realized that it was Lere's business, they began to support it more and they told other people. And I saw more custom. So then we changed the name to Lere's Shoeshine.
Yeah.
Then as opposed to Airport Shoeshine. And that made a big difference to the customer. All right. And then on the end of that month, we had made about 7,000. So I bought the fridge back. Okay, we had a fridge now. And then other stuff wasn't really too necessary. And then I bought another chair.
Yes.
So it was me and another guy. And that month, we made about 12,000. I could buy back the television and the radio.
And pay your employees.
And pay my employees.
Yeah.
Yes. So third month was December. The business was terrible because everyone was on holiday. And we make money from business travel.
Yes.
Right, so all the business people were on holiday. January came, but the 10th of January, we began to start again. But that month, we made about, 8,000 again. February, we made 18,000. And we were like,
wow.
So this is an awesome business.
So it started to grow from there.
Correct, yeah.
And what lessons, I think, what did you learn? Because you had to learn fast.
Correct.
In the first few months of the business.
So, for instance, one of my customers said to me that I must have newspapers, right, in my business. I said, okay, which ones? He says, business newspapers, because the customers are business customers. Right?
Yeah.
So I bought newspapers. Then another customer says, do you actually read what's on? So he asked me, what's on the news today? I had no clue. Okay. Then he says to me, read. So I read the newspaper with no idea what I was reading, right? The first 3 or 4 days, I was just reading. Every day I was reading. But eventually the knowledge began to give me a context of what's happening in South Africa.
Yes.
And of course, there were words that I didn't know, like CPIX or the interest rates, different interest rates given by the Reserve Bank and by the banks. I didn't know those things, so the customers helped me, right? What inflation was, the customers helped me. So I began to know the terminology. And then the more I knew the terminology, the more the customers were impressed with me. The more they were impressed with me, the more they told other friends. And the more other friends knew about it, the more customers I got. Okay, it was a crazy circle.
Yeah. So you took away business from the coffee sellers at the airports,
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, I was going to ask, are you actually in the Shoeshine business then, or in the conversation business?
Essentially, we are. Okay, when we find new guys and we teach them that shoes stay the same. Okay, if the black shoe is a black shoe, what really changes the customer. That's really what we shine. We shine the customer, not his shoes. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what we do. We shine customers. And then once we shine the customer, he walks away feeling we are awesome and he's renewed. He's going to come back. That's how we build loyalty. That's what we do. Because shoes stay the same, customers change.
Yeah, because the first time I heard of Lere was through my brother, who flies around a lot, and so he flies between Joburg, Cape Town, and Port Elizabeth quite a lot, and so every time he gets home and his shoes are shining, he tells me about this guy he had a conversation with at the airport. Not the fact that his shoes are shown by someone. He remembers the conversations more than the fact that, people shine his shoes.
Yeah, because people enjoy the interaction, the connection with someone. Remember, the airport is a cold environment, right? You find glass, steel, tiling, and some wood. Okay?
Yes.
And the people in between are all under pressure because the aircrafts are leaving, they must be on time, they must do this. So no one really connects with anyone. No one makes eye contact and sits down and says, let's talk. No one does that at the airports, right? Because everyone's in a rush. But once you get your ticket, you go past security, you can see your gate, you begin to relax a bit. And then you have time to come sit to the Shoeshine. And that's where you can see your gate and sit down and relax and find this awesome guy who wants to talk to you.
Yes.
He wants to talk to you, okay? He looks you in the eye. You look down at him, but he looks you in the eye and chats to you, all right? And the kind of conversation that is determined by both of you because you both are relaxed, and then the environment changes. Okay, that's what we do.
So do you have repeat customers?
Most of our customers, about 80% of the business we make is from repeat customers.
Wow.
80%, that's huge, okay? Because customers are happy.
So I think one of the big things for startups is really the human resources side, especially training people, right? How do you?
Sorry, because right now it's not just the three of you.
Right.
You've got how many?
45.
45.
45.
Shoeshine or
Shoeshine,
conversationalists.
yeah.
Shoeshine shoes.
45 guys.
Okay.
And the secret in developing them, there was the first guy I taught was responsible to teach the other guy. Because the best way of learning is by teaching, right? So then if I give you the good habits, you have to teach these good habits to someone else, but you must behave like what you do for the third guy, okay? Especially if you're responsible in finding, selecting, and motivating and driving him. So then the guy was responsible for the guy because he found him, and then develops that guy. And eventually the guys have a niche in understanding what type of person they must find. Okay, so guys will say no to their best friends because they know he will not function well in the environment. All right. And also the other good thing that helped at the airport was because airport's company screens everyone we bring for their criminal records. So people will be screened prior to coming there. So people without those criminal records will be coming there. And then anything that goes against the customer is frowned upon because the guys knows that it goes against the business that they service and they promote and they sell every day, right? Because now the ratios are no longer for every one customer you get. For every 10 customers you ask, you get one. Is for every 10 customers you ask, you get 6. That's an awesome ratio because the customers then are comfortable. They come to the airport preparing themselves for the Shoeshine. So when they pass through security, they are ready for it. So therefore, it's a nicer relationship because they feel they get value for money.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
I've got a question because I want to go to my Shoeshines, but I wear like sandals and stuff. So how do you have a lot of ladies with?
We do get ladies during summer. No, sorry, winter.
With their boots.
With their boots, yeah. 'Cause it's colder now, so they can't be walking around with that. So we do that with their boots, and then they enjoy the service as well. Tell the truth.
Yeah, because I would.
It's amazing, yeah.
I like
It's
conversation.
amazing.
And in terms of, I know that one of the things that happens with you guys is that a lot of corporate companies, when they've got events, tend to hire out the chairs as well.
Correct.
How did you get into that market, or did you foresee that happening when you started?
In fact, no. When we put up the website, right, we didn't foresee that. It was just an events corporation, company that called us and asked us if we did that.
Yes.
We're like, what do you need exactly? And then they said they needed a chair at an event, and how much do we charge? So we said, okay, we charge 1,000 rands. And they said, okay. And we were surprised. They said, okay, like, cool. So it was easy money. We made that for the day. And then the request then became to add up.
Yes.
And we increased the money, because we've got a corporate company would ask us, the event company would ask us, we charge them 1,000 rands, but they'll sell it on for 3.5.
Yes.
So we realized that the market is willing to pay
3.5.
that much.
Yes.
So therefore we are selling ourselves. So we moved then to about 2,500 then for the event. And then customers are loving it. They're loving it. We were doing it one today for 5 days now. We've got a customer who asks us for 5 days to do that event. Then I go there on the first day because my salespeople want the owner or Lere to go there and impress the customer for the first day. So I go there and I impress them, and then they're like, this guy is amazing. We're going to keep the business. So that's what we do. Yeah, man. That's really what we do.
And in terms of finding, how do you find quality people? The quality of people that you want to work with?
It's self-selection, essentially. Because the guys, they know what kind of guy the guy would fit. And once he fits within the environment and knows the culture, he stays or other guys leave. All right? We had a problem some time ago where we would pay the guys a day, right? So the guy will make his own turnover, we'll give him his cash and he will walk away. But then customers, like our own customers, will take our own guys. So the following day, the guy is gone, okay? And we were like, what happened? The guy is gone. Because either Pick n Pay, one customer, enjoy the customer level, they took him. So then we had to rearrange, then we would keep all, those still our guys. So we have to keep his income until the end of the month and then pay him. So he has to give us notice that he has to go, okay? Then we have to do the sums for him, because sometimes the guy gets paid per day. He doesn't see the cumulative amount because he uses as he gets the money. So he doesn't see that he's earning a lot of money, right? Until he works for Pick n Pay, and then they show him a large amount, but other deductions, he's left with nothing. And then after a couple of months, the guy's knocking at our door. I want to be back. I want to come back.
Prefer working with you.
Yeah, I prefer working with you. You guys are awesome.
And you really, you do sound awesome. I mean, having conversation all day sounds like a great, and learning. It sounds like you both learn, the customers and
Beats pulling levers and putting them back.
So to get back to our initial point about what I think what really interests us in having you on the show was that you came up with the idea and you didn't have much when you started it, and I just think your creativity and your determination to actually pay for those chairs for your first day when you got the contract at the airport.
So that's
my question was just going to be a bit of a long-winded one, but knowing that you had some experience, and even though the experiences you failed at them, and you said they were school fees, they were valuable because you learned a lot from them. What would you say to someone else who's got an idea there, like maybe is in a similar situation, doesn't have much money, can't find a job just can't find something that's suitable, and has a spark of an idea?
I think the secret about starting is to just start. Okay, many people talk about starting. They'll tell you how difficult it is to get a business without even starting. The secret about starting is just start. Just start, and then the rest would cover itself. Just start. I mean, for me, I had lots of hindrance to start the business, okay? And people I believed in just ran away and said no when they promised, okay? And the issue at hand is either I start or I don't. And it took a year for Apple's company to get me to start. I was talking about this thing for a year, and people not believing in me. And when I knew it was going to work, and the secret was I just needed to start. And I started, regardless. I mean, even after the equipment came there, half of the equipment was there, I started.
Yeah, you used your
leg. I used my knee.
Your knee.
I used my knee. I started. And that's the secret of starting. You should just start. Just start.
Well, on that note, I think we have to just end. How can people get hold of you if they would like to, besides going to the airport to have their Shoeshine?
Right. You can either go on the website, which is www.shoeshine.co.za, or at Lere Shoe. Sorry. This
Okay,
is
so
new.
the Twitter handle is at
Yeah,
Lere,
Twitter.
Lere Shoe, or Lere Shoeshine dot coza.
No, at shoeshine.co.za.
Shoeshine.coza.
Yeah.
I'm also getting
Or
confused.
even you can just Google Lere, Lere, then you will find lots of correct information on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the search engines are amazing.
Yeah.
they were.
And we'd love to continue the conversation. So if you have any questions to pose or anything, if you want to share your stories about how you've just started and applied this, please tweet us on LT Possibility or find us on Facebook.
Awesome. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.